Okay, people of the state of Michigan versus Robert Craig. This is file 2023607. Mr. Craig is on probation on a charge of possession of methamphetamine, which is a felony punishable by up to 10 years in prison. His guideline range, advisory guideline range called for a minimum sentence of anywhere from 19 months to 38 months, which is a presumptive prison sentence, but he was placed into the Swift and Sure Sanctions probation program when he was sentenced on May 28th of this year. His agent has filed a petition alleging that he had violated the terms of his probation. Ms. Yancey is here as his attorney, and his agent is Ms. Coney. Dr. Howes is the director of the Swift and Sure Sanctions probation program. Lisa Martin is the supervisor for the Department of Corrections parole probation agents. Clarence James is a treatment provider and also part of the team of the Swift and Sure Sanctions probation program. Mr. Craig is being held in the arraignment room right now, which is right next door to the cell block, and it sounds like they're doing cell checks or something, so if you hear loud clanging, that's what's going on. It's not in our normal video conferencing room that we use from the jail. So with that, Ms. Yancey, you had a chance to talk with Mr. Craig in the breakout room. What does he wish to do?
Your Honor, he is going to be making an admission today.
All right. Mr. Craig, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Craig, your agent has filed one petition with 3 different counts in it, alleging that you violated the terms of your probation. You had a chance to review this with your attorney, is that correct?
Yes.
All right. So as to count 1, a violation of condition 2.4, which says you're not to use or possess any controlled substances unless prescribed to you by a licensed physician or be with anyone you know to possess those items. And it says that between May 29th and May 31st of this year, you used MDMA, alcohol, methamphetamine, and amphetamines. How do you plead to that?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
Count 2 alleges that you must not enter any bars or consume any alcoholic beverages. And again, it says on May 29th you used alcohol. How do you plead to that?
Guilty, Your Honor.
And count 3 is a violation that says that you violated the terms of your Swift and Sure Sanctions probation agreement by doing the controlled substances and using the alcohol that we already described. So how do you plead to that?
Guilty, Your Honor.
All right. Has anyone promised you anything to get you to admit to the violation?
No, sir.
Anybody threaten you?
No.
Are you doing it of your own free will?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, I sentenced you on May 28th, and we had that long talk at that time about, you know, you going into the program and you going into the center, and that, you know, we were going to set that up for you to do that. And I was concerned about you falling off the rails right after sentencing before you got to the center, and you assured me that wouldn't happen. So what happened?
I really didn't think it would happen, Your Honor. I had a relapse. There's no excuse for it. I had a relapse, and I let the stress bother me, and I shouldn't have, but I'm owned up to it.
Okay, good. Good. All right, so I find the pleas are made knowingly, understandingly, and voluntarily. There's a factual basis. So, Ms. Coney, what do you recommend?
Due to some issues with entry into the center, precautions were being taken for COVID. He did not go directly to Twin County. I think by what happened, he's shown that he should not be in the community prior to entering Twin County. I've spoken with the team, and the team is recommending to continue probation, continue Swift and Sure, and 7 days jail credit 3 to allow into entry for Twin County to begin programming as previously ordered.
Okay. Ms. Yancey?
Your Honor, I did explain to my client that that was going to be the recommendation by the team and the agent. He understands that. We would ask that you adopt that.
All right. Okay, thank you. Mr. Craig?
Yes.
All right, you understand what's going on?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And anything you want to say?
I'm sorry, and thank you for giving me a chance.
All right, well, what are you sorry about?
That I used.
Okay. All right, and so that's what this program is about, is helping you deal with stress and those issues that cause it. So, we talked about that this being a potential of happening, and you thought you were strong enough, and so it is a very it's a very difficult disease that you suffer from, that you have to deal with, and education is going to be the primary thing. And so, Dr. Howes, what can we say to Mr. Craig right now that will make him understand that this isn't unexpected? So where do we go from here? I mean, he has yet to get in the center. He has yet to even start treatment.
All right. Hey, Robert.
Hi.
I was thinking about, because when you and I had talked about the support system that you had in place, and I think that like this can kind of demonstrate that you need more than that. That even though you had that, available to you Friday, and it still wasn't enough for you. You need more than the support system. In addition to that support, you need the treatment and the just a lot of learning new ways to cope with stress, and to accept what we can't control, even though that's easier said than done. So I just substance abuse addiction, it is a chronic brain disease. So it changes what happens in people's brains physically. It's you can see it if you look at an MRI before the use and then after the use, you can see the change. And so what happens is your brain is hijacked. And if you don't have the tools in place, you're going to get hijacked, And so I just want to encourage you that you've got a lot of time to, to learn and to heal. And so don't, beat yourself up too much about it. I appreciate your grateful attitude, very much so.
Yeah, Mr. Craig, this is the start of a long trip that we're going to be going on. And your attitude is going to direct which direction you take and which paths you take. And so far, you're on the right path. You acknowledge that, there was a slip up. It's tougher than you thought it was going to be. You thought you had real strong supports, and then it just hit you, and how quick it can get out of control. Now, how did you get caught? That's one thing I was curious about. How did this all come about that we found out about it? Amanda, how did we find out?
He was transported to Twin County for a drug screen and screened in the parking lot and was positive.
Okay.
Also, he did admit use when he used into me as well at the jail. And I did want to comment too that, him and I just met today for the first time, and unfortunately it was in a violation. And I was impressed with the way he handled himself at the jail, and he immediately took responsibility.
That's great. It doesn't sound like much, Mr. Craig, but it's amazing how important that is. Clarence, anything you want to add?
No, just like Dr. Howes and Amanda just said, just your attitude is definitely going to carry you a long way. And don't be afraid to reach out for help when you do feel yourself struggling. That's what we're all here for that support, to support you. You're not in this alone, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
All right, good, Mr. Craig. So 7 days, credit 3, and then you go straight into the center. And when you get to the center, I want you to concentrate, we all want you to concentrate on yourself. Make it real small. Don't worry about everything else. Don't worry about your job. Don't worry about your friend, your boss. They'll all be there. They're all rooting for you. But you need to work on yourself, and you need to keep that concentration on you for the beginning. And you'll get there, and it'll grow, and the other people there will explain to you too, just how this works. So we've been doing it a number of years, and those that take advantage of it are living incredible lives now. Those that want to fight it, They're on a different track, okay?
Okay.
All right, good, Mr. Craig. So first violation, and I'll enter that order indicating 7 days credit 3 and then go to the center. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
We'll
you,
go
Your Honor.
off of YouTube
Thank you.
now.